Welcome back. In this session, we are going to understand MT940 file format. This file format is divided into these many parts. It will start here and it will end here. This is the standard format and in the standard order. The order of this one is also standard. So now these blue color, these are the fields or tags. So these fields will uniquely identify what is the information in the file. For example, field 20, whenever system, when you upload this file into the SAP, system will understand this information based on these fields only. So that is the reason these fields are very important. You have to memorize what are the fields. Field 20 is for statement date. Whenever system come across this field number 20, then system will understand that whatever the information on the right side is the statement date. This is the field 25. Field 25 is statement account number. This is the bank account number. Account number means bank account number. This is nothing but account ID in house bank. This is the bank account number of your bank. Coming to this one, statement number. For example, this is the running statement number. This will be given by the bank only. This is the statement number. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Let us assume from January it is the statement number 19 1. So if you are this is for the 1 month period. If you are getting another statement for Feb 2019, then this will be 2. So this is the statement number. This will be given by the bank. System will understand based on this one only. So what is the importance of this one when you are uploading with reference to uploading? I uploaded this statement number 19/2. So this will store this information. SAP will store this information in tables. Again, you want to upload the same statement. System will validate whether this statement is already exist in the SAP or not. So that is the importance of this one. System will store this information for the purpose of validation. There should not be any duplication of the statement numbers as well. Now coming to the after the statement number, from here this is the financial part. This information is relating to data of the statement, account number of the statement and statement number, first 3 fields. Now coming to 60F. 60F is the opening balance. What is your opening balance? And what is your 62F is what is your closing balance. So these fields 60F and 62F will deals with the opening as well as a closing balance. These 2 fields. So now in between opening balance is 100. I paid 10 rupees to the vendor and my closing balance is 90. That is the use of this one. So in between, this is for example understanding purpose, opening balance, my account balance. This opening balance will be equal to SAP. In SAP's terminology, this will always be equal to main account. Main bank account. This is the equal to main bank account. Now this is the closing balance. You have to memorize this 60F and 62F. In between, let us assume I have 100 rupees balance here, 100 USD here, and I paid 10 USD to the vendor. Remaining balance is 90 USD. Now in between we have the transactions. Here in transaction is again you will have 2 fields here. 61 will contain the financial parts like amount, debit or credit, amount, date of the transaction. 61 will give this information, and 86 will give additional information about the 61. So when you say transaction, you cannot ignore 86. 86 is very important. Complete means the processing of EBS depends on 86 field only. In SAP's terminology and in general, this is called as note to payee. Note to payee means note to payee will provide additional information about the preceding transaction. That is the concept here. What is the additional information? For example, here SAP means in a bank there are charges, 100 USD charged towards the bank charges. But these bank charges, additional detail, bank will give additional details. Like these bank charges on check bounce or LC, letter of credit, or foreign currency conversion, or normal monthly bank charges. So these kind of the things, 86 will provide additional information about the 61. So that is the importance of 86. So you cannot ignore 86. 86 is very important. This is called note to payee. So now this gives about the value. Booking date means booking date is nothing but date of payment, and currency, amount, and amount is SWIFT code. SWIFT code means transaction code. BTC code. BTC. Actually, this is external BTC, external business transaction code. So now this will give additional information. So now we have 100 here. 100 USD is my opening balance. Let us assume that I did 2 transactions, 10 worth of 10 each. First transaction paid to vendor X, 10 USD. And second transaction we paid 10 USD to Y vendor. Then my closing balance will be 80 USD. So that is the concept. I hope you understand this file format. First we have 3 fields deals with statement date, account number, statement number. So you have to memorize these one. Whenever if you want to create manually any file, you have to memorize these fields. Based on this one only, system will understand the file. Because this is purely technical, maybe in case in interviews you may get a questions on these fields as well. What is 861, what is 86? This is MT940 file format. In case of BI2 format, these will be different, but concept remains same. The format, whatever may be the format, configuration is same, and format slightly interpretation of the format will be different, but rest of the things will be 99% will be the same. If you understand this one, you can be able to do your configuration for BI2 as well. So now this 61, here we have one transaction, here we have second transaction, here we have third transaction. So whatever the n number of transaction, if you have 100 transaction, you will find 161s and 186. This is the standard. So now we will understand one example here. You will further understand this file. This is only the general understanding that what is starting and what is ending. Here we will understand more specific information. See, first information up to here. This is the format. 20 field, statement date 2019-02-07. This is the statement date. The format of this one is year YY, year month date is the format. This is the account ID. In bank account in SAP, this is nothing but account ID. You have to give the account number here. In case of means for testing only, if you are preparing any file for the purpose of testing, you have to give the account number only. In generally, you have to export this file from the bank server only. This is the statement date. So, now coming to the opening balance, we will understand this opening balance. This is the opening balance. This is the transaction 1. This is the transaction 2. This is transaction 3. This is transaction 4. So likewise, you see here bank commission, bank charges, customer, RTGS number. This is the additional information. Here we will understand in detail additional information on statement lines. This is the first statement key. 20 is the key here. So now coming to the 20, the format will be like this. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 letters from starting this colon to this colon. This represent a identifier. This system will identify, SAP will identify based on this information only. The date format will be like this: year, month, date. Now coming to the 25 field. 25, this will identify the bank account number, IBAN number. These are called coming to 28C, this is the statement number given by the bank only. Now coming to the opening balance, 60F will represent opening balance. We will understand what is the structure of this 60F. First C start with This is the opening balance identifier. This is this field. Coming to the C, C means debit. If you have the debit balance, it will be C. In case, sorry, if you have credit balance, this will be the C. In case of overdraft, this will be the debit balance. C, D. In place of C, you will find D in case of overdraft. Now coming to the 190207. 19 represent year, 02 represent month, and 07 represent date. This is the date of opening balance. Now coming to this one, after this one we have INR. This is the currency, ISO currency code. If your account is in USD, you will find USD. If it is in INR, it will be the INR. The rest of the things here you will find amount, opening, what is the opening balance. In case of if you have any fractions, then you will find like this. The same way we'll understand the closing as well. Closing field is 62F. C stands for C means credit balance, D means overdraft. This 190207 will represent date of the closing balance, year, month in this format. INR is the currency of the account, and this is the closing balance. 1800 is the closing balance. Now coming to, you have to understand this thing here. 61. This we understand the opening balance here. We understand the closing balance here. 61 tag gives the financial information. This is the transaction. 161 equal to 1 transaction. If you have in our statement 461s, that means 4 transaction. For each 61, system will post 1 entry. So now the format of the 61 is like this. This is the first up to 4 letters from starting. This is the transaction tag. This system will identify based on this tags only. Now coming to this one, 190207, year, month, date. This is the posting date. When you are uploading into SAP, system will pick the posting date from this one on. Now 0202 here, 0207. 0207 is the entry date, that is optional. If you are mentioning this date in file, then that will be the document date in SAP. When you upload this one, system will consider this as the 02 and 07. 02 means month, date means this 07, 7th Feb. Coming to C, these are the possibilities here. C stands for credit, D stands for debit. In case of if you are receiving anything like receipts from the customer, then our balance is going to be increased. So in that case, it will be the C for receipts. In case of outflows like making the payment to the vendor or bank charges, these kind of the things will have D. So based on this one, system will understand whether it is receipts or payment. This is also possible. In some cases, RC and RD is also possible. Reversal of C and reversal of D. After the C, financial part will start. So this is the actual transaction. The amount of this transaction is 20,000. System will pick the amount from here only. Now after ending this one, these letters, these are the possibilities here. It will start with N or S or F. Only 3 letters are permitted there. You cannot have other than these 3 letters. In most of the cases, you will find N only. After this one N, TRF is the transfer. If you are making any transfer from we are making the payment to the vendor, we are transferring, so then NTRF will come into the picture. So with the combination of C and this NTRF, system will identify business process, system will identify posting rules. NTRF is applicable for receipts as well as payments. In case if you receive anything from your customer through bank transfer, then NTRF plus C will be there. In case of if you are making any payment to the vendor through transfer, then NTRF plus D will be there. So this is the understanding of C and D. With this combination, system will find the relevant posting rule. Only permitted letters are N, S, F. Now after this NTRF, after this NTRF, in case of BI2 format, here you will find numbers like 100, 200 like this. But coming to the MT940, you will find like characters. After end of this NTRF, then if you have any check number, for example, business process flow, now we are paying to the vendor by check. So check number will come here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9. Check number will be mentioned in after NTRF. Now after this one, after the check number, this is the bank reference. If any given by the bank, they will mention their reference here. For each transaction, we will have 161 tag with this information. Now coming to the 86, 86 will give additional information about the 61. So 61 plus 86 will put together one transaction only. This will give additional information like here NTRF, TRF is the transfer. Coming to the check, if you are making any payment by check, NCHK is the standard one. NCHK. If your bank charges debited to your bank, then NCHG is the standard. So now NCHG, you can get additional information in this 86. Suppose now in case of direct transfer from the customer to your account, you are receiving the amount from the customer, you can ask your customer against which invoices they are making the payment. So whatever the information entered by the customer, like invoice number 1, invoice number 2, invoice number 3, those information will get reflected in 86. That is the concept of note to payee. Note to payee will always give additional information about the transaction. Thank you.